What's up guys, welcome to today's video. This is a self-improvement guide. We're just going to get right into the video. We're going to have one is music. Guys, this is going to go under might help because understand that music essentially programs your subconscious mind to normalize or to think about certain things. And so if you listen to a lot of sad music, chances are you're going to think that sad is a good thing. You're going to always think about sad things. The same goes if you listen to a lot of happy music, you're going to start thinking about happy things. You can essentially manipulate how you feel based on the music that you listen to. This is why you see people listening to certain genres of music if they want to work out, or they listen to certain genres of music when they want to study. Like, it can literally put your mind in a good place, a medium place, or a bad place. So this can help, but the reason why I say it might help is that if you're a really disciplined individual, you're not really going to need music. Like, there are a lot of people that don't need music to study. They don't need music to, let's say, watch a YouTube video. Like, their mind doesn't need that external stimulation, but obviously that doesn't constitute everyone. And so if you find yourself needing music to maybe get certain things done, this might be able to help you. Or basically, if you need external stimulation, music might help you. Next, we have cut off people that are not for you. This is absolutely going to the top of the list. Understand that there are certain things, like certain blessings, that will never reach you because those around you would devour those blessings, right? Literally, like, it's like you're trying to give money to someone, but then you have that friend that just steals it from them, right? It's sort of like you see those videos like with Marlon and stuff where a girl's trying to talk to him and then his friend Lacey tries to get in the way, and therefore the connection doesn't really develop between Marlon and the girl, right? That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, there are certain individuals that literally have to be removed from your life in order for those blessings to manifest in your life. And ultimately, aside from that as well, you don't want people that are not rooting for you. Like, you don't want to tell your friend that you got into a really prestigious internship and they're not happy for you, or maybe they kind of downplay the significance of what you told them. Like, you don't want those types of people around you in general. So this is going up to the top of the list. Next, we have purpose. This is going to go into can really help. The reason why I'm not going to put it in the absolute must is that sometimes your purpose will still manifest in your life even if you don't really know what your purpose is, if you know what I'm saying. Like, you'll still accomplish what you were set out or what you were made to do even if you don't know. The reason why I say it can really help actually has more to do with getting things done. Because when you see people that are highly disciplined, like they always study on time, they always work out on time, most of the time it's actually tied to an end goal or an objective that is a purpose for them, right? And so you'll find someone who is studying 6 hours a day consistently, but they have a purpose of becoming a doctor. Or you'll find someone who trains, let's say they're an athlete consistently, but they have a purpose of becoming a professional athlete. And so you can't seem to rationalize why they are so committed to what they do, but it's actually because you don't share the purpose that they have. And so if you find yourself struggling to get up in the morning, you find yourself struggling to actually do what you set out to do that day, having a purpose can make that a lot easier. Next, we have going out and socializing. This is going up to absolute must. You guys have to understand that we live in a world full of people. The reality, guys, is that you're not a prince, you're not a princess who can just command people to do things. You need to have communication skills, you need to have people skills in order to thrive in this world. You see people that started out with nothing, but somehow we're still able to be successful. Most of the time it's because they know how to leverage their people skills to their advantage, right? So me personally, I do go out every single weekend. I do not care if it's a art gallery visit, if I'm visiting a new coffee shop that just opened, whatever the case may be, I try to insert myself into situations where I'm forced to interact with other people. This will literally sharpen your social skills. And another thing as well is that you want to go to different places, right? Like, you don't want to be the person that goes to the same place every weekend. You want to be able to know how to interact with as many different types of people as possible because this makes you more well-rounded. Next, we have limit screen time. This is going to go to can really help. Now, I know from a practical standpoint, this is a little bit hard to actually do because if you're in school or a uni or whatever, you are forced to be on your screen like 80% of your time. 80% of the time that you're awake, you're probably scrolling on your phone or you're doing work on your laptop, or maybe you're even watching a PowerPoint on your TV. Like, it's very hard to like separate your day-to-day life from a black screen. But I will say that if you do anything, maybe limit screen time 30 minutes before you go to bed, or maybe the first 15 to 20 minutes of waking up, you don't go on your phone. Like, understand that it's not normal to view life through the lens of a black screen technological device. Like, that's not normal. That's not the way that humans have been living for the majority of human history, right? When people complain about having fatigue or about brain fog, Most of the time it's because you've been staring at your screen for too long. Like, it's not that hard, guys. Try to limit your screen time if you can. Next, we have self-care. I'm going to elaborate on what this actually is because this is going to the top of the list. Self-care is literally what it sounds like, guys. It means that you're showering, you're brushing your teeth. If you're a guy, you're going to the barber. If you're a girl, you're going to the hair salon, right? You wear nice clothes, you wear perfume, or you wear cologne. You take care of yourself, guys. When you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you perform good. Like, this is not rocket science. A lot of you guys would feel so much better. Like, the one thing that you think is missing is actually your self-care, right? Like, you have your money in order, you have good grades, you have friends, but the reality is that you don't take care of yourself, and that's why you still feel as if something is lacking. Which leads me to my next point, which is God, which is going to the top of the list. I am telling you guys, whenever you see someone that seems to have their life really, really in order, most of the time they happen to be religious, whether they are a Christian or a Muslim. Personally, I'm a Christian, but what I can tell you is that this is a game changer. When you see people that talk about how their lives completely changed once they found a relationship with God, you will not be able to relate until you do the same, because you cannot be living life according to your own moral code or according to your own moral standard. There needs to be a tried and proven method, aka Christianity, or maybe you participate in another religion, that keeps you grounded. This is a must. Next, we have NoFap. This is going to go under can really help. And if you don't know what NoFap is, it's basically for people that struggle with gooning all the time and they basically completely stop gooning. This also tends to go hand in hand with other types of like things that you shouldn't be doing, essentially, right? And so the reason why this is not an absolute must is that like gooning is essentially when you're like, I don't want to make this too sexually explicit, but you know what it is, right? I'm not going to explain it. But understand that if you're married and you're having like sex regularly, that's not a bad thing, right? And understand as well that like I'm not saying to have sex like after or before marriage. That's not really my place. But what I can tell you is that if you have a gooning problem, it will become an addiction. Like, you might want to do something, but you can't do it until you goon first, right? Like, it basically controls your behavior. You don't want to be bound by anything, right? It's sort of the same reason why you see people that are not able to do things unless they get their cigarette in, right? Or they can't do things unless they find their vape, right? Like, you don't want to be tied down by something that you are addicted to. That is essentially what NoFap is about. It's about not being addicted to something that your body is constantly telling you you need to do. Excuse me. Next, we have clean room. This is going to go under absolute must. This is going to be a little bit controversial, obviously, because for a lot of us, we don't have the time to clean our room. I do. And understanding as well that this is actually more of a mental health thing. Like, when you have a clean room, it sort of allows your mind to be at peace. Like, there's probably some psychological study about this, how like if there's a messy room and you're in that messy room and it's your room, you can't really be at peace because you know that your room needs to be clean. Like, there's a task that you need to do before you can actually completely rest. But when your room is actually clean and spotless, you can actually relax, and it just allows for greater mental clarity to develop in your mind. That's just my personal experience. However, if you're a CS student and you can thrive in a dirty room, by all means, more power to you. But personally speaking, I find this to be a game changer. Next, we have eating clean. This is going to go under can really help. The reason why I'm not putting it under absolute must is that for a lot of us, eating clean is not something that we can actually afford to do on a regular basis, right? Like, eating clean, buying steak and eggs and avocado, that's actually pretty expensive, especially in today's economy, right? And so even though this can really, really help, because if you're eating processed food all the time, don't look at me when you always have headaches and when you always don't feel well and when you always have digestive issues, right? Like, this will really, really help, but it's not an absolute must. Like, if you can't eat clean all of the time, like, having a cheat meal every now and then won't hurt you, but like, this is something that if you can do, I do highly recommend. Next, we have staying hydrated. This is not negotiable. This is all the way up at the top. Most of the time, it kind of goes back to that thing where like a person complains about having a headache, but in reality, it's because they've been looking at their screen for too long. The same thing is when it comes to hydration. Like, a lot of people that complain about having a headache or they forget things very easily, it's because they're dehydrated. You've been drinking that Celsius, you've been drinking that coffee all day long, and guess what? You've forgotten to drink water. Like, I'm telling you, this is very, very important. And if you find yourself really, really dehydrated, buy some electrolyte pills or buy some like electrolyte powder and keep yourself fully hydrated, because drinking water isn't enough. It's the combination of water and electrolytes that will actually keep you hydrated. Next, we have working out. This is going to go under might help. Now, the reason why I'm not going to put it any higher is that working out is a little bit more mental than it is physical, right? Understand, I'll never forget, I was watching a video of this man who was incarcerated in prison for 17 years, and he said that whenever he felt mentally weak, he would do 100 push-ups to remind himself that he was strong. right? So this is why you see people talking about how they go to the gym for their mental health. Working out will basically remind yourself that you're strong. It will remind yourself that you're disciplined and that you actually have power to do things in your life, right? And another reason why it might help is that a lot of us are already getting physical activity. Now, if you're already obese or you're already fat, this is probably going to go up a little bit higher for you. But if you're already a fit individual and maybe you are already getting 10,000 steps a day just because you live in a major city, you don't really need to work out. Like you're already exercising essentially indirectly. Next, we have social media. This is going to go under it's up to you, because understand that social media is like an extension of real life. Like when you see people that, let's say, have a social media feed of, let's say, athletes, like that could be an extension of someone who realistically only has friends that are athletes, right? Or if you have someone that has a social media feed that consists of academia and stuff like that, that could actually just be an extension of them actually being in university, right? And so social media is sort of like music. You can manipulate it to where if you maybe are always consuming content about fashion, then you might become more of a fashionista. Whereas if you're always consuming like political content, then all of a sudden you care about politics more, right? So it's really up to you. But again, you don't need social media to serve as a foundation for who you are, because again, it is an extension of real life. If you want certain feelings that you experience on social media to be true in real life, simply tailor your real life experience to what you are seeing on social media. Like this is the way people have been living for thousands of years, guys. Like social media is relatively new. Next, we have money. This is going up at the top. Understand, especially if you're a guy, because I find that a lot of guys think about money more than women do. But even though there are women that think about money as well, like most of the problems in your life can actually just be solved by getting your money up. Like getting your money up is the solution to a lot of your problems. You're thinking about, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to attend this university, or I don't know if I'm able to take this girl out, or I don't know if I can afford to buy this car. You wouldn't even be thinking about any of those things if you had money, right? Like I'm serious. Like a lot of guys, especially if they're like between the ages of like 16 and 21, they don't think about money because they're just used to maybe asking their parents for money, or they're used to like an allowance or something. But like as you get older, you realize that you should have been prioritizing money at a much, much younger age. And you'll find that the people that discovered that early, that became obsessed with making money when they were like in middle school, they tend to do a lot better in life than those that started to prioritize money when they were older. And next we have corn. This is going up to the top of the list. Understand, guys, that like corn is essentially like the epitome of human degeneracy. Like I am so sorry, but like when you see those like people in those islands that like throw bows and arrows at the helicopters, those people are more civilized than those that watch corn. Like corn is the epitome of human degeneracy. It is the embodiment of human filth. There is no justifiable or explainable reason for you to be watching this. Like I'm just so sorry.